Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam with this week's community reading. This will be for the week of Thursday, July 4th until July 10th. And if you stumble on this video and it's not one of those dates, there's probably a message in here for you, so you might want to stay tuned and listen. And community readings work because the tarot is comprised of universal symbolism. And so I may have a message and say something that resonates with you in a certain way, but someone else may hear that same message and apply it to something completely different in their life. So let's get started. The first card we're going to go through is what you've been learning or growing from, or what it's time to leave behind at this time. And that card is the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is all about triumph by force and confronting things. The Ace of Swords is showing this hand that's just crackling with personal power. So this could be a time where your inner power is feeling reawakened, where you're starting to feel energized and also excited about your new prospects. Aces in the tarot are always new beginning cards. So this could be a time where you're really starting to think anew, or you're going to be approaching old problems in a new way. Since this is our past card, or the card that you're leaving behind, it could indicate that you've been reacquainted with your personal power recently, and you want to keep that momentum going forward. Always that Ace of Swords has that crown of victory on it, and dangling from the crown are those two branches, the olive branch and the palm branch. The palm branch represents that you're a survivor, you're hardy, and just like a palm tree can withstand hurricanes, you've been able to withstand the storms that life has been sending up until this point in your life. And so it's time to let go of the storms, it's time to pass through those. It may be time to clean up the debris and everything that's just kind of flown around. And also when we see the Ace of Swords, we got that olive branch, which is indicating that it's time to confront things in order to bring inner peace again. This could also be a time to confront people or have conversations, or just basically take a peaceful approach, especially when communicating with others. But always confront and always deal with speaking about those difficult conversations, but in a respectful manner. The next card is what you presently need to learn in order to grow. And that's the Judgment card. Now the Judgment is a card of rebirth, renewal. And whenever I see Judgment, I think of the phoenix that rises out of the ashes and is reborn. You can see that the dead on the card are rising out of the graves because of the angel's trumpet. And what this represents is that old things in your heart that were feeling forsaken or lost or even dead are now stirring back to life. This could be a project that you had to shelve for a little while, or a passion that you had before, or even some sort of enthusiasm for a project. And this is just saying that that's all going to be renewed at this time. Whenever we see Judgment, it basically says it's not over till it's over. And even though things may look like there was a setback or a loss, Judgment is telling you to get back in the ring because right now you're going to feel this energy and this renewal. And especially when I see Judgment next to the Ace of Swords, these are two cards of major new beginnings. So this is a perfect week to give birth to new conditions in your life, and also to reawaken or resurrect old things that you might have put on the shelf a long time ago. And then your future card is talking about what's ahead for this next week, what challenges you might have to overcome, or also what opportunities there are in order to be successful. And the future card for this week is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is a card of partnerships. Not only is it traditionally a love card, so it could say that there's a focus on relationships, opening your heart, being more vulnerable, and also working on your intimacy. But you see these two lovers here that are facing each other, and in between them is the wand or staff of Mercury, the messenger god. And this is talking about communication and relationships. And this isn't just romantic relationships when this card comes up. It's saying that you want to have a care with how you're communicating with people in general. Because above that wand of Mercury, you see this huge floating lion head. And for me, that symbolizes ego. And so when you're communicating with someone else, you have to be respectful of their pride. Make sure that when you're negotiating or working with someone this next week, that you're able to leave the table and that both parties are able to leave the discussion with their dignity intact. It's so important that you're tactful this next week, and that you're also working on harmonizing and bringing things together with others. And since we have these rebirth and renewal cards and fresh start cards with that Ace of Swords, when I couple that with the Two of Cups, it could indicate that a new beginning or a rebirth or a renewal in your life is going to be made possible through collaboration with someone else with that Two of Cups there. So this could be a time of connecting, also sharing your ideas, and also just letting other people know what your plans are because they may be of some assistance to you. So I hope you enjoyed this week's reading, and if you did enjoy it and if it did resonate with you, I invite you to go to my website, elliotoracle.com, and schedule a personal one-on-one tarot session with me. These little mini readings are great, but they're nothing compared to a personal one-on-one reading with me where we get to go to your specific needs and issues and really tailor a reading around what you're most concerned about. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. Happy 4th of July. I hope you all have a good time and take care.